This is Bruce Friedman of Adult Site Broker, and welcome to Adult Site Broker Talk, where each week we interview one of the movers and shakers of the adult industry, and we give you a tip on buying and selling websites. This week we'll be speaking with Brandon Jones of JiggleJiggle. We've got an events section on our website. You can find out all about the events in our industry and get discounts on some events. You'll find all that and more at adultsitebroker.com. We're proud to announce our latest project, thewaronporn.com. You'll find articles on age verification laws and other attacks on our industry. It's to raise awareness of our industry's plight in the war on porn. You'll find all that and more at thewaronporn.com. And we're always looking for buyers and sellers of adult sites and companies. Perhaps you've been thinking about either selling your site or buying one. Always feel free to contact us at adultsitebroker.com with any questions you may have. Now time for our properties for sale at Adult Site Broker. We're proud to offer a successful OnlyFans agency. The agency has 15 creators, with 90% of them being on salary, so the agency is highly profitable. They handle all aspects of marketing for the creators, including chatting and promotion, with highly predictable acquisition channels. They do paid advertising for subscriber acquisition. In addition to agency operations, the business has developed a suite of custom-built internal tools that represent significant intellectual property and competitive infrastructure. They have a custom content production pipeline built for synthetic creator content using AI with Telegram chatbot integration for pre-funnel fan engagement. It also offers WhatsApp automation. They use a proprietary analytics, KPI, and sales verification dashboard with link tracking, ad performance data, sales verification, and payout automation. All tools are built entirely in-house and don't depend on third-party SaaS platforms. This technology is a great asset for the buyer to own. We have a rapidly growing SaaS-powered OnlyFans chat agency with strong SEO. The company has over 30 clients with very little churn, ranging from around $10,000 to over $150,000 a month. The company continues to grow and innovate. New technical features include an enhanced chatter portal, a new creator billing dashboard with daily billing, and an automated blog system to grow SEO. The company's set up with very little upkeep needed by the owner. It's a cash cow that's still growing fast. We have the largest foot fetish creator site in the German-speaking market. The site is a leading niche platform that's been the #1 brand in the market for over 3 years. The site is highly profitable with consistent revenue, an established SEO footprint, and strong brand authority in its niche. We have a buyer who's looking for OnlyFans agencies, chatting companies, and OnlyFans traffic sites. He owns one of the top OnlyFans agencies in the world. We're offering a growing free porn gaming site with adult sex games. The site is owned by one of the top entrepreneurs in our industry. We have a premium AI companion platform focused on emotional realism and deep memory. Users interact with lifelike companions that remember every detail, respond with real emotion. They've just added advanced video capabilities. There are more properties for sale on our website. For more information on any of these listings, go to our listings page or contact us at adultsitebroker.com. Now time for this week's interview. My guest today on Adult Site Broker Talk is Brandon Jones from JiggleJiggle. Brandon, thanks for being with us on Adult Site Broker Talk.
Thank you for having me, Bruce.
It's a pleasure. Now, Brandon is the founder of JiggleJiggle, an independent adult creator platform built around transparency, creator ownership, and fair economics. Without coming from a traditional platform background, Brandon approached the project from a fresh perspective, focusing on what creators actually want rather than trying to replicate existing platforms. Beyond supporting creators, JiggleJiggle is being developed to add value across the adult industry by creating synergies with complementary businesses, services, and partners. The goal is to build a platform that grows sustainably while remaining accessible and beneficial to all participants in the ecosystem. Brandon, what inspired you to launch Jiggle Jiggle, and what opportunities did you see in the adult creator market before you did?
So I think the reason why I've built Jiggle Jiggle is purely through observation. So I have, obviously, as you say, not a traditional background, but the skills that I've kind of developed over the years, they've kind of helped me analyze opportunities, kind of use my creativity. So that observation, I kind of looked at the platforms that are currently available or were available at the time. I just observed and I saw creators want more exposure. Equally, fans or users want more interaction with the creators that they choose to engage with. So that was really one of the core reasons for me to build Jiggle Jiggle and see how I could increase that, both the exposure for creators and equally the interactions for users and fans that kind of follow these creators. So I think that was the sole purpose. I saw opportunity in terms of long-term alignment, in terms of kind of helping creators develop a more sustainable source of income rather than exploring multiple platforms, hoping to find their home and then, build a source of income. So there's a lot of things that I noticed and I was sort of like, let me dive in here. Let me see how we can build something, how we can address these issues, and then how we can build something longer term as well.
Okay. So what did you do before getting into the adult industry?
So my background is actually very different. So I worked in finance in the industry for a very long time, using a lot of my skill set. So problem solving, critical thinking, stuff like that. And I think it's just kind of just translated over to Jiggle Jiggle, basically.
How so?
I think it's more, obviously, the finance aspect in terms of like understanding numbers, how understanding metrics, that plays a part in any business. But I think more the softer skills, in terms of interpersonal skills and stuff like that, I think it's for seeing a problem, taking a step back and thinking about, okay, who's involved here? How can we facilitate a solution here, and then how we can address that. So it's more just, again, from the exposure for creators, it's like there are multiple platforms out there. Which platform suits you best? Equally, how do you gain visibility? So it's sort of like, not everyone can run their own individual marketing campaigns. They don't have the budget, etc. for that. So it's like, how can we give creators exposure, help them build a profile, help them build their audience over a longer term? How we can do that. And equally for fans, it's more, how do they gain interaction? Is it through live streaming? Is it through sending DMs? What is it? How can we increase their services to make them feel like they get value for money, and equally the creator earning a source of income that's sustainable longer term as well. So that's what we're trying to do with Jiggle Jiggle.
Now, were you a consumer on other platforms before?
I have consumed purely for research purposes. Other than that, not really. It's more just, I think I kind of just fell into this and then saw opportunity and I was like, okay, this is interesting. I think I like to take on something that is a challenge, and this has definitely been a challenge. So yeah, it's been great so far.
How did you research it? I'm just kind of curious how you came to the conclusions you did.
I think it's just a rabbit hole. I think I just kind of looked at a lot of different avenues. So I've run businesses before and I've always kind of fell into them. So it's sort of been like, just exploring stuff on the internet. And then I think it was just this is like, okay, the traditional model of meeting people is sort of like data gaps, right? You swipe left, you swipe right. Someone takes your fancy and then you hope to explore it further. And I think it's sort of like that. It's like, okay, like how do you do this on the internet? And then it was more, again, like kind of what's the next step up from a data gap? And then I kind of came across this stuff. And I was all like, okay, there's these platforms. How do they work? So I think that was the curiosity, is like how they work. How do you gain interaction? When you are interacting with the model, how do you get her attention? The same way you do on a dating app. Like you build a profile, you write a quirky bio, you put up some images, you hope to get interaction. So it's similar to that. It's sort of like, how do I get interaction with the model and how do I sustain that interaction, right? And then it was sort of, how can I build that further? I think that's the step that I kind of thought, okay, this is where Jiggle Jiggle comes in. how can I build this further? Like how can I see where this leads, basically?
How does Jiggle Jiggle position itself differently from existing adult platforms?
It's built with a clean slate perspective, so we don't have a lot of experience in the industry, like compared to people that have been more established to us. So we come in from a clean state, new perspective, interacting with creators that are already performing. So it's more just, we could kind of come in, we take our ideas based on the research that we've done, and then we're just kind of building out a platform, building out structure, and then just see how it grows. And then with the data that we will collect, we will then kind of see what additional functionality we can build on the platform, the consumer behaviors, equally the behaviors of those of creators that are utilizing the platform. What makes them join? What makes them, kind of apprehensive about joining? These are the things that we're looking at. And then we're kind of saying, okay, like, how do we build a transparent relationship on both sides to make sure that everyone is getting value for money and equally everyone is benefiting? So that's the goal here. It's really to kind of make sure, we're not here to just kind of have multiple creators join and then just keep churning. It's more, how can we keep them active on the platform? Equally, how do we keep our users active on the platform? So that's the goal here. It's really to kind of make sure there is continuity and people enjoy coming on the platform. So like it's an outlet for them, and equally it's a source of income for the creators as well.
Sure. Now, are you constantly surveying creators and fans to find out what they like and what they don't like?
Yeah, so we are building new functionality. We're building functionality that isn't existing on other platforms. We're constantly introducing new things. And actually for fans, it's more just kind of seeing how they utilize this, how they take to it. Is there an increase in, the usage of the services that we introduce? That's the goal here. And I think it's then, how does that, like, if we introduce a specific service, how can we, enhance that service to the next step? And then will that kind of be equally treated in a beneficial manner as well? That's the goal here.
Okay. What core principles guide how you build features and policies for creators?
I think it's more transparency. So it's more just for a user, you should know that if you're using a specific service, you know why you're utilizing it or what you're hoping to get out of it. Equally, from a creator's perspective, how much you'll likely earn. So if you use a specific service, everything is very clear cut on the platform. So you do see, how much you're going to earn. The commission structure is very transparent as well. So again, it's just based on pure transparency. So whatever you utilize on the platform, how you choose to utilize it, as you build comfort utilizing the platform, you know what you're earning. Like the amount of time you invest is like going to equal to X amount of dollars, right? Or X amount of pounds. So it's very clear cut, and that's what you will be paid or like you'll earn. So it's just very much, we work on the basis of transparency, and equally we want you to benefit from utilizing the platform.
Okay. So as both a user and as a creator, give me two answers to this. If I come to your platform or use your platform, what's going to make me say, wow, this is different?
I'd say as a creator, it's more of a hybrid because you're not having to sign up to multiple platforms and simultaneously operate them. So you can DM on the platform, you can answer DMs on the platform, you can live stream, you can do video calling, you can do audio calling. There are additional, subscriptions will be there. There are additional functionalities coming up on the platform that we're integrating. Again, these are available on other platforms. So I think every creator has their own trajectory, and it's hard to pick a platform, especially when you're new or you're established as well, and you're trying to refine yourself. It's hard to pick a platform. So when you have a platform that has a lot of different functionalities, and equally those functionalities are growing, you have an opportunity to come in, test out specific functionalities without replicating, a live stream on another platform and then on our platform at the same time. You don't have to do that. You can kind of, because it can get overwhelming sometimes, especially if you're quite popular. You can test out different functionalities. Does this work for me? Do I like this? Am I able to utilize it? And how can I benefit from it? So I think that's the goal there for creators. From a user perspective, again, it's there's a range of functionalities. Like, that's what I can say. It's very easy to understand and use those functionalities. So if you want to send a DM, if you want to send an audio message to a creator, and just kind of, I guess, like,
kind of the same features, but will appeal to both, probably.
Yeah. So I think it's more just, it gives you more of a personalized experience. That's the goal here. It's like, how do we personalize it for both? So you're not throwing it deep and like, I can only stream on this platform, or I can only sell content on this platform. It's more just find your comfort zone and then build from that. I think that's the goal here. I think from a user perspective, it's more just, how can I enhance the experience that I have with the creators that I follow? How can I enhance that further? Is that video calling? Is that audio messaging? Is that sending a DM and then escalating it, right, to an audio message, to a video call, to a watching a live stream, right? So there's sort of like, you're not forced to kind of consume one type of product or service. You have a range, and then you can kind of test it and say, okay, you know what, I enjoy these functionalities, and then us as a platform, we analyze that data and we will build from it.
Very good. Very good. Why was it important to design Jiggle Jiggle as a creator-first platform, and what does creator-first mean to you?
Creator-first, I think there's, especially since COVID, there's been definitely a boom in the number of creators pursuing this avenue as, a source of income, or even as a career option, right? So I think the goal here is, there's a volume of creators, and a lot of them maybe feel they don't have the transparency of our platforms, or they just don't have the visibility, right? Because you compete with so many other people globally.
Yeah, interesting story. I had somebody reach out to me last night and say, I'm on OnlyFans, but I just can't get people to look at my page.
Exactly that point. So I think it's just, there's a volume of creators, and the goal here is, here's all the functionality, find what works best for you, and then build from it. Us as a platform, we kind of then say, okay, if you're performing well, how can we work alongside you to help build your exposure? And if you're underperforming, then it's on us to kind of be, okay, have you tried this? Have you tried this avenue? Have you tried this functionality? Like, help build their profiles, and then say, okay, like, what are you doing off the platform to build your profile equally, right? So the goal is to kind of create a funnel for them so that they can build something, and then take those learnings and keep adding to it and just keep working on it, refining it over time. So I think that's the goal here, is to kind of say, do this. If it works, continue with it. If it doesn't, come back to us. Let's see what you could do, like how you can market yourself. Because I think a lot of it is just, they just assume that we sign up to a platform, we add a link on our social media, people automatically come and see us. And I think it's like, I don't think it's that easy. I think it's more, you have to put work in, you have to build a profile. Like, there are people that relentlessly post across social media 24/7. Are you thinking about time zones? Are you thinking about, consumer behavior? Like, how are you analyzing the people that even DM you? Like, what are you thinking? Like, how are you interacting with them? I see, because even through my experience, I just see people leave money on the table. And I'm like, I'll ask them a simple question. And it's like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, no. Take the question. I'm asking you a question. Don't just give me a blank answer. Give me, okay, yes, sure. Okay, I can do that for you. This is what it'll cost. Are you willing to engage? Yes. You're going to close that person. And then that person's going to then become someone that will subscribe to you, someone that will tip you, someone that will buy your content, etc. But if you're not understanding the little nuances in how people engage, you're leaving money on the table. And I think that's where I kind of saw opportunity to build creators and build this platform.
Yeah, absolutely. Please explain your revenue model, if you would, and how it aligns creator incentives with platform growth.
Sure. We operate a flat 80-20% revenue model. So it's basically the creators, get 80%. We take 20%. We do have, I think, just a clear structure, which we are looking to maintain for the longer term. I think the goal here is we giving you a range of functionality on the platform, so you have a way of kind of bedding into settling into the platform, and then figure out what works for you, building your base. Basically building your base, and then using that to kind of say, how can I enhance or how can I utilize the services on this platform? I think for creators, it's more just that 80-20 stick. So after you earn your 80%, we don't make any further cuts. Whereas on other platforms, I've heard, there can be additional charges or additional cuts. That isn't the case here. It's very much 80-20. Whatever when you're uploading content, it's all very explicitly clear. It'll tell you what you'll earn based on the price points that you set out. So that is what you'll get after any sale. The same with any service you utilize on the platform. It's very clear cut. The goal here is to we see creators as the product or, the one facilitating the service. So they should earn the bigger margin here. Our goal is to make sure that you have the exposure, you have the traffic coming to the site to maximize your earnings, and then that's where we'll benefit. So it's more just making sure that ecosystem flows naturally and in a positive manner. So if they're happy, we're happy, and then everyone else is happy as well.
How are you building traffic to the site?
SEO, we're investing in SEO. We're investing in advertising through social media. We are using other channels. We are looking to bring on ambassadors as well to help build the platform because we are new. So that is the goal here. Have some faces attached to the brand. And then, just continue investing in SEO, really.
Yeah, okay. How does the referral system support sustainable growth for the platform?
So the referral system encourages creators to build a community. So it's more just like if you bring other creators along, you could, have a network effect because they'll bring their audience, you'll bring your audience, you're combining it equally as creators. You'll probably know one another if you're referring each other. So you can build content, you can create content with one another as well. So again, that gives you another opportunity to merge the two profiles. And I think it's more just as each creator grows, they can bring audiences through social media, through advertising. So it just helps us as a platform increase our traffic to the site as well.
Great. What role does transparency play in building trust with creators and partners?
I think it's just partners and creators specifically. It's more just trust and integrity. So if we're transparent from the start, we can equally, for the example of creators, 80-20, that's what you're going to get. There is no additional cuts. There is no additional charges on, specific services. It's very much, this is what I earned, this is what will come in my account, and this is what I can then withdraw. So I think it's just, we want to make sure that we're honest, and then that way we can build a longer term rapport with our creators that sign up to our platform, and you can utilize it and keep them there for this longer term. Especially the ones that do well. So I think that's the goal here. It's more just that they can be honest with us. Okay, these are the things we enjoy on your platform. These aren't the things we enjoy, or these are the ideas we have. Again, we could then look to utilize those ideas. I think it's just transparency is key in any relationship, and I think if you can have that trust with one another, it ever enhance the relationship. So that's the goal here.
What kind of industry partnerships are you looking for, by the way? You've alluded to that.
Yeah, so I think we've had a couple of discussions with a few partnerships. I think it's just partnerships where there are synergies. So there are companies that sell adult products. So again, it's just how can we enhance that? So there are brands, that sell toys that have ambassadors that sell their own versions of their products as well. So I think it's just how can we? Okay, this is just another add-on to our service, right? So it's more like if you can't speak to this specific creator, you can't watch her live stream. Here's a product that you could probably utilize, which she is associated to it. So I think it's stuff like that. So it's where there are synergies, we try to align and then explore them further and then see where they lead. Okay.
So what kind of feedback loop do you prioritize between creators and the platform?
I think it's maintaining an ongoing dialogue with our creators and especially with users as well. So ongoing dialogue meaning we will continue to reach out to them, say how you enjoy the platform, what do you enjoy, what don't you enjoy, are there any challenges you experience, how can we streamline these processes to make sure it's easier for you to kind of get things going, and then you can spend more time actually generating revenue for yourself on the platform. That's the goal here. I think it's just really just kind of listening to creators from a user standpoint and seeing what they utilize on the platform over the long term, collating that data, and then kind of say, okay, here's the behavior. How can we enhance that? How can we increase utilization on these services? Are these services working? Like what is the goal here? And then kind of say, if it's not working, how can we replace it? Or do we just need to kind of advertise it further to kind of say, okay, are people even aware that it exists or not? So I think it said, like, is it a UI change? Is it a UX change? Stuff like that. That's what we look at.
You mentioned live streaming. So creators who are used to going on cam sites can really do it all on your platform?
Yes.
Okay. And how is that different for them from, say, going on Live Jasmine or something like that?
I think it's more, we will be enhancing the live streaming. So that is a functionality that hasn't been seen on other platforms that we will be enhancing. So it's more just, I think the problem at the moment you have with creators is, one, they spend endless amount of time on a platform. Sometimes their earnings can fluctuate. So I think sometimes they can earn a reasonable amount of money, and sometimes they can earn very minimal. So it creates problems for them in terms of, like, there's no certainty in their income. So for us, it's just live streaming is one aspect of the platform. Equally, we are trying to make live streaming more interactive. So, like, it doesn't feel like you're just sitting there idly, just hoping people will tip you. You kind of create, if we have ways of making it more interactive, people will engage more, they'll want to tip, they'll want to see more of the personality of the creator as well, and it'll just kind of help them build a more, I'd say, better relationship, and that way they each could kind of interact with one another. That's the goal here.
Are they doing private cam shows too on there?
Yes, there will be private cam shows. There will be even further enhancement around that. So it's more just kind of, how can we take this a step further? How can we give creators a surety on their income, or how can they kind of get that surety? That's the goal here. So we are doing live streaming, we're doing private cam shows, cam to cam. There will be more functionality as well built around that. So it's more just kind of saying, you're not turning up hoping you send an email prior to going live that all these people that is following your profile will turn up and will tip you as well. So I think the goal is to kind of give them more surety around their income, and, like, how can we help them achieve that? That's the goal here.
Sure. This is always the biggest question when somebody comes into this industry. How can you attain long-term traffic stability and audience ownership in this space?
I think the goal is really to kind of understand consumer behavior, what's driving them. So if, like, people are tipping and they stop tipping, what is the reasons? Like, has the creator left the platform? Have they just kind of changed preferences? I think it's like looking at user behavior. So I think these are the things that we kind of analyze, and then it's saying, okay, like, just analyzing behavior and then seeing what data it produces and what's that telling us. So that's the goal. I think in terms of us as a platform, it's more just, I guess, feedback from the data we get. I think it's just kind of seeing, where they go with it, really.
Yeah, you sound like you've got quite a data background, so I'm sure that's coming in handy. What does a healthy, sustainable adult platform look like to you?
I think creators earning consistently, that's the goal, because I feel like that's been a challenge for a lot of creators, especially as we alluded to earlier, is the exposure element. So one, making sure they have sufficient exposure, and two, making sure they have sustainable opportunities to generate an income, transparent economics. So again, back to the 80-20, that is key for us. And then strong compliance foundations as well. So us as a platform, making sure we aren't breaching any regulatory, compliance issues, anything like that, regulations, making sure we'll continue compliant so the platform could continue to operate. That is the goal. And then longer term retention of our audience and creators, making sure that they're always satisfied and that they can, earn an income and you could get their enjoyment.
Okay. So obviously the adult industry is under more attack than ever. There's more regulation than ever. You're in the UK. You certainly know about that. So how does one come into this industry in that type of atmosphere?
I think that the challenge for me is making sure we're compliant. I think that the challenge I have is I haven't seen it previously because we're only coming into the industry, so we haven't got the historical background which a lot of the other players will have because they've been around, 10, 15 plus years, 20 years, right? So they've seen the change in the trajectory, the change in the compliance background. We've only come into the industry, so we kind of seen the compliance aspect come in, so we're just complying. I think for us the challenge is more making sure the site is considered safe, is considered reliable, trustworthy. These are the things that you kind of have to kind of build on. So I think that's where the challenge comes in for us, because everything is censored across any platform you go on. You have to do your verification first before you can see any level of content, right? So I think that's the challenge, because these other platforms have a name. They'll obviously have creators that kind of bring the traffic, and then a user will want to join because they're eager to kind of go see that creator. For us, it's very much kind of going hand in hand. We have the creators, we have the compliance issues, but we have to kind of merge the two. So for us, it's more just kind of embracing the challenge and then kind of just being creative in terms of okay, this is all we can do it, at the front end of things, on the UI element. Fine. Okay. How can we increase that curiosity of a user, of a creator to sign up, to engage with the platform? That's the thing. I think you have to kind of use the channels through social media, through SEO marketing and stuff like that. It's sort of okay, what will make them get over that hurdle of completing verification, which only takes a minute or two, and then they're onto the platform. They're gonna start, engaging with the platform. I think it's just stuff like that you have to kind of analyze, which we're continually doing, and then kind of saying, okay, this hasn't worked, this has worked. How do we double down on it, or how do we pivot from here? And then just continue working. I think the problem is this regulation, or these regulations would not be disappearing, right? So I think you have to just continue with it, and just keep going. So I think it's just very much embrace the challenge, embrace it. I think it's not going away.
Sure. Did it ever make you think twice when you decided to do something like this? When you kept hearing about these new regulations? I can imagine.
Yeah, because I have a finance background, so legal for me is very much a minefield of its own. So
second nature, sure.
Yeah, so it's very much you have to have a very good legal team in place. That's our point. And continue to ask questions. I think that's the goal here. I don't have a legal background, so I continue to ask questions. I continue to analyze, take a step back, look at it from a creator's perspective, look at it from a user's perspective, look at it as a business owner as well. Who's exposed here? How are we exposed? How do we kind of give everyone comfort that, this is a safe environment, nothing's going to go wrong here? And I think I understand it. I think it's just, it was definitely a challenge to kind of embrace it and be like, are you sure we continue down this path? But we've gone and we've continued, and we're just going to embrace it.
Good for you. How does live streaming fit into JiggleJiggle's ecosystem?
Real-time engagement tools to build deeper relationships. I think the goal here is to kind of increase optionality for users and for creators. So they don't have to just live stream. They can live stream, they can do video calling, they can do audio messaging, they can send DMs, they can sell subscriptions or content. So I think it's optionality. I think it's just layer on optionality. So creators have the opportunity to bed themselves into the platform and build their profile, build the functionality that they want to offer over a longer period of time, so that they're not just thrown in the deep end. I can only go on this platform and utilize this one or two services. I have the option of building out my services, building comfort on the platform, and then kind of seeing how I'll engage, how I'll build my audience. And then as that builds, they'll kind of adapt to new functionality to enhance their earning potential as well.
Sure. What mistakes do creators often make when choosing a platform, and how can they avoid those?
I think a lot of it's short-term visibility. It's more just sometimes I feel like there's a herd mentality. It's like I'll go where there's a popularity on a certain platform, or certain platforms they'll go over because they'll think, okay, if everyone's doing well here, I should join them. And they're not really evaluating, like, is that adaptable for me? Is that going to be my main source of income? Is that going to be my secondary source of income? Like, how do I build visibility on there? I think that's the problem they have. It's great to follow other people, not a problem. But you have to understand, like, how do you fit into that ecosystem? How are you going to get your exposure or your visibility on the ecosystem? I think that's the goal here. So they're not looking at earning structure, stuff like that. So, like, are these tools that I'm going to utilize? If not, then, why are you there? If you are, like, how do I, kind of utilize these tools, and how do I make sure that I am earning a sufficient amount of income to justify being on there and equally investing time, effort, etc. And how can I build my audience as well? So I think these are the things that they have to kind of rely on. Don't rely on one platform. Equally, I think is the problem, because once you do, you're eliminating the whole audience, which I think is a problem, because not all users are on one platform. They might be using multiple. So if they haven't seen you on one, the chances are they might see you on another, right? Where you're not buried amongst 10,000, 100,000 other creators. So I think it's like, these are things that they need to kind of think about, analyze, and then see like what best fits there.
Yeah. Good luck getting on to OnlyFans these days and getting seen. It's a needle in a haystack. There's no two ways about it. How can newer or smaller creators benefit from joining a platform early?
Just to allude on to the back of the point you just made. So I think that's it. OnlyFans has hundreds of thousands of creators. How are you going to get visibility, right? So on a platform such as ours, it's new or it's newer. There's not hundreds of thousands of creators, so you're not buried. You're going to have more visibility. The earlier you adopt, the more visibility you get, the more people kind of recognize you because they'll see you because you're not buried. They're not having to search 200, 300, 400 pages to kind of cover, eventually find your profile, because the chances are they'll search the first 2 or 3 and then they've likely found a number of creators that they want to engage with and they'll stick with them. So with us, you have more visibility. We have the opportunity to push your profile so we can help grow alongside you. You grow alongside us. It's more just kind of, it's not a mature ecosystem. So again, like, it's evolving, there's more functionality being introduced. So, there's ways for you to kind of say, okay, I'll use this functionality on this platform, on JiggleJiggle specifically, to help push my profile. I think that's the goal here, because you're not buried, it's easier to get seen. So but the moment someone comes to the website, the chances are they're going to search the first couple of pages, they'll see you. Then once they're there, it's up to you to kind of build that engagement. And once that engagement is built, you just need to maintain it. And I think that's how you grow. And then you'll be happier here.
Absolutely. And if somebody's searching, can they search, for instance, for a MILF or for an Asian, or how does that work on your platform?
Yeah, so you can search by, I think I would call them hashtags or categories on the platform. So you can search by, if you want to be identified as a MILF, as an Asian, certain nationality, for example, you could be searched that way. They can search your profile. Then we're just kind of continuing enhancing these points on the site to kind of make sure that you have the maximum visibility. So if there's a certain term that you want to use, as long as it's compliant, it's nothing derogatory or discriminatory, the chances are you can utilize it. And then that way, people can know you as a MILF or whatever, a goth, whatever it is. And you're then going to be filtered out, easily more visible. And then that helps drive people that are looking for specific creators that identify with these tags as well. So it kind of helps you get that visibility that way as well.
Sure. And if they're looking for a MILF on OnlyFans, that's where you get the 400 pages. Because it's more like probably 40,000. It's probably 40,000 pages if you go through the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. If no one's gonna sit there and continually search every page. You're gonna search for the first 2, 3. Who's the chances of the first 2 or 3? They're gonna be the highest performing, highest earners on the platform, and they're just gonna get an increase in flow in traffic as well, right? So I think it's just and this is why we want to engage with creators, how can we help address challenges? How can we help address visibility issues? These are the things that we can continue to think about. Come and engage with our platform. We can help address these issues and make sure that you're earning money as well.
Very good. Brandon, I'd like to thank you for being with us today on Adult Side Broker Talk, and I hope we'll get a chance to do this again soon.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. My broker tip today is part 5 of what to do to make your site more valuable for when you decide to sell it later. Last week, we talked about new ways to monetize your site. Next, eliminate unneeded expenses. Constantly make sure you're not spending money you don't need to. Make sure there isn't duplication in your staffing. From time to time, check services you pay for like hosting and see if there are better and less expensive options. Take it from me, I've done this and saved a bunch, plus got higher quality hosting in the process. Again, ask us for recommendations. Along with this, make your profit and loss statement show more profit. Increasing sales and reducing expenses obviously does just that. Make sure your P&L statement accurately reflects your company's actual costs, not a bunch of personal expenses you put in. This will cost you money when you sell. It may help you with the tax man to put that stuff on your tax return, but it hurts you if you show that stuff on your profit and loss statement when you sell. Remember, every dollar in profit increases the value of your website as much as 3 to 4 times. This is why you need a good, experienced broker to help lead you through the process. We've gotten people thousands of dollars more on their sale just by adjusting the P&L statement to reflect actual business expenses as opposed to a bunch of BS. We'll talk about this subject more next week. And next week, we'll be speaking with Edward Moreau of Syndream. And that's it for this week's Adult Side Broker Talk. I'd once again like to thank my guest, Brandon Jones of JiggleJiggle. Talk to you again next week on Adult Side Broker Talk. I'm Bruce Friedman.